Want a training facilitator for new belay technicians wants to improve learner engagement. Which strategy best aligns with adult learning principles? A. Delivering long lectures without interaction. B. Allowing learners to practice belay sequences with guided coaching. C. Requiring learners to memorize all policies before any hands-on activity. D. Limiting group discussions to reduce off-topic questions. During a formative assessment in a Movement Belay Certification course, the instructor should focus primarily on A. Assigning a pass-fail grade. B. Measuring ongoing skill development and giving corrective feedback. C. Comparing learners' performance to national averages. D. Repeating the same assessment until all learners score perfectly. 3. A curriculum designer wants to ensure the belay course content supports safe practice. What is the most effective approach? A. Including only theoretical safety content. B. Integrating progressive skill activities linked to learning objectives. C. Eliminating learner practice to avoid mistakes. D. Designing lessons without measurable outcomes. 4. When teaching proper rope handling, which communication method best supports comprehension? A. Speaking quickly to save time. B. Demonstrating the skill while verbally explaining each step. C. Providing only written instructions. D. Allowing learners to attempt skills without prior guidance. 5. Regulatory compliance for belay training requires documentation of competency. Which method is most appropriate? Informal peer evaluations. B. A structured performance checklist aligned to certification standards. C. A single written multiple choice exam. D. Instructor memory of learner performance. 6. When mentoring a new belayer, an expert technician should A. Complete the skills for the learner to speed up training. B. Provide constructive feedback while encouraging independent practice. C. Avoid giving feedback until the final assessment. D. Focus only on errors without addressing strengths. 7. A summative evaluation in the Movement Belay Certification course should measure final mastery of required belay skills. B. Occur daily throughout the course. C. Replace all practical assessments. D. Ignore previously defined course objectives. 8. Which instructional method best supports retention for adult learners in belay training? A. Passive video viewing. B. Hands-on skill repetitions with real-time feedback. C. Memorization of belay terminology. D. Long theoretical lectures. 9. A belay instructor notices inconsistent knot-tying skills among learners. What action supports effective curriculum adjustment? A. Continue training without changes. B. Provide additional targeted practice modules. C. Remove knot tying from the assessment. D. Shorten the lesson to save time. 10. When communicating high-risk procedures, the instructor should A. Use clear, concise language and check for understanding. B. Provide excessive technical jargon. C. Avoid learner questions to maintain authority. D. Use only written instructions to prevent errors. 11. A competent evaluator in a certification class must demonstrate A. Personal climbing experience only. B. The ability to measure skills objectively and consistently. C. Preference for certain learners. D. Avoidance of standardized evaluation tools. 12. A training program requires periodic review of belay curriculum. The most effective reason is A. To randomly change content. B. To align training with updated safety regulations and industry practices. C. To shorten training for efficiency. D. To reduce instructor workload. 13. In mentoring techniques, the most effective feedback involves A. Immediate specific guidance linked to performance observations. B. Delaying feedback until the course ends. C. Providing vague encouragement. D. Giving only critical comments. 14. To support varied learning styles, a belay instructor should A. Use a single teaching approach for consistency. B. Incorporate demonstrations, verbal explanations, and hands-on practice. C. Rely solely on written guides. D. Minimize interactive components. 15. A learner struggles to maintain proper stance during belaying. What instructional approach is best? A. Provide corrective modeling and supervise practice. B. Ignore the issue until the assessment. C. Assign additional reading. D. Remove the learner from the course. 16. Clear communication during belay instruction improves safety by A. Reducing misunderstandings during critical procedures. B. Shortening training time. C. Limiting learner questions. D. Allowing learners to skip practice sessions. 17. The purpose of a risk-based regulatory requirement in belay certification is to A. Increase administrative paperwork. B. Ensure standardized safety practices across instructors and facilities. C. Provide freedom for instructors to modify standards. D. Replace skill-based assessments. 18. When creating evaluation rubrics, the instructor should A. Write vague expectations to allow flexibility. B. Define measurable performance criteria aligned to standards. C. Focus only on written knowledge. D. Exclude safety requirements. 19. A belay training facilitator wants to maximize learner readiness. The best practices: A. Reviewing prerequisites and adapting to learners' prior experience. B. Assuming all learners start at the same level. C. Skipping introductions to save time. Beginning immediately with advanced skills. 20. Which approach best supports knowledge transfer in belay certification? A. Providing real-life scenarios and simulations. B. Memorizing all terminology. C. Using only lecture-based teaching. D. Eliminating practice activities. 21. A learner insists on using an unsafe technique. The instructor should A. Allow it as long as the learner feels confident. B. Intervene immediately and provide corrective instruction. C. Wait until the final test to address it. D. Avoid feedback to preserve learner autonomy. 22. When designing the sequence of skill instruction, the instructor should A. Start with complex skills to accelerate progress. B. Build from foundational to advanced techniques. C. Randomize skill order. D. Allow learners to choose any sequence. 23. An effective mentor creates a supportive environment by A. Encouraging questions and reinforcing progress. B. Limiting learner autonomy. C. Correcting every error aggressively. D. Avoiding discussion about learner goals. 24. The primary purpose of the belay pre-assessment is to A. Determine funding needs. B. Identify learners' starting skills and instructional needs. C. Replace summative assessment. D. Assign learners to different instructors randomly. To comply with belay training standards, documentation must be A. Accurate, complete, and stored according to regulatory guidelines. B. Brief and incomplete. C. Based on instructor memory. D. Created only at the end of the year. 26. Effective curriculum development for belay training includes A. Alignment with objectives, methods, assessments, and safety standards. B. Random content insertion. C. Reducing practice to shorten courses. D. Removing hands-on activities. Adult learners benefit most from A. Linking content to personal experience and real-world application. B. Learning without context. C. Memorizing information without practice. D. Having minimal interaction. 28. When evaluating belay skills, reliability means A. Each evaluator uses the same criteria consistently. B. Each evaluator improvises scoring. C. Learners choose their own evaluation method. D. Scores vary widely between evaluators. 29. Effective communication during demonstrations requires A. Performing the skill slowly while highlighting key points. B. Performing the skill quickly. C. Avoiding verbal explanation. D. Letting learners guess the steps. A belay instructor updates lesson plans after identifying a common error pattern. This reflects A. Responsive and data-informed instruction. B. Training inefficiency. C. Instructor favoritism. D. Avoidance of standards. To reinforce proper belay commands, the best method is A. Structured practice with partner rotations. B. Reading commands silently. C. Watching a video only. D. Allowing learners to create their own commands. 32. A regulatory audit checks whether belay instructors A. Follow required operating procedures and safety protocols. B. Create their own rules. C. Use only written tests. D. Skip documentation. 33. Mentors can support learner confidence by A. Setting realistic goals and acknowledging progress. B. Comparing learners negatively. C. Ignoring learner concerns. D. Focusing only on failures. 34. During assessment, a performance checklist must A. Include objective, observable actions tied to standards. B. Contain personal opinions. C. Be optional for evaluators. D. Exclude safety criteria. 35. To maintain training integrity, instructors must A. Apply assessment criteria consistently. B. Allow flexible scoring based on effort. C. Adjust evaluation depending on learner personality. D. Skip assessments if learners appear confident. 36. In adult learning, motivation increases when A. Learners understand the relevance and purpose of the skill. Content is unrelated to their goals. C. Instructors dictate all actions without context. D. Learners have no opportunity for practice. 37. Effective belay feedback is A. Immediate, actionable, and centered on specific behaviors. B. Vague and delayed. C. Emotional rather than descriptive. D. Focused on personal judgment.